Warning: the Atari Creep YouTube channel is intended for a mature audience. Regardless of the subject matter, this video may contain strong language, simulated violence, and lots of psychological nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. What's up, creepers and geekers? Christy, Atari Creep. How is everyone? Excuse me. How's everyone doing today? You know, I'm not necessarily reviving this old segment, but I think it's due. I think we're due for a Toys I Wish I Still Had by the Atari Creep. So, if you're fairly new, I used to do this periodically. There's not that many episodes out there. But I go into something I had as a child, something that stood out. You know, I mean, we could talk about all the toys that we had, but certain things in our lives that stood out in our youth that we kind of wish we still got our hands on. Some of them I've eventually acquired, some of them not so much. This is one of them. However, this one kind of has a resolution. I'm not going to say a happy ending, a somewhat resolution. So let's talk about this thing after I have a sip of my Java Jive. It's 4:47 in the afternoon. I'm still drinking coffee. I just haven't been feeling well. I need something to keep me going. So, Christmas of 86 or 87. I can't recall. I'm going to guess 86, though. I wanted a bike. And we talked about this, I think, last night in one of my streams, maybe, if not the last stream here on the channel. And when I say last night, I meant on Instagram, which I did not save, by the way, because it was a shit show. I didn't like it, so I just, I didn't let it upload, and I didn't upload it here. Poo-poo on you. But we were rough on our bikes, me and my buddies. We had our schoolyard. It's kind of weird. The building, my elementary school, is a real long building, but the land was at an angle. So the front of it was like ground level, but then as you walked through the building, there was two other levels below it. It was so bizarre. And when you got all the way into like the maintenance area and all that, there were no windows to be had because you were completely underground. But needless to say, the yard had a slope to it. And one of the things we'd like to do is take the brakes off of our bikes, go up to the top of that, and just go, whoom, right down. And it was steep. And at the bottom of it was a rock wall, you know, a handmade rock wall from God knows how long ago. And it was basically a game of chicken. Luckily for us, the rock wall was only high enough to smash the bike. There was a nice chain link fence behind it or above it that we could smash into, and it gave us a little bit of a cushion as we lost our teeth, and coincidentally, and broke arms and legs and stuff. As a matter of fact, there's a buddy of mine who's now an police officer in town. Every summer he'd break his arm on his bicycle somewhere, and I think that was one of the places we broke his arm. But needless to say, the reason I'm even bringing that up is because we were pretty damn rough on our bikes. So I would never ask for the expensive ones. I would never ask for the Diamondbacks, and I never had a GT or a Redline or any of that. But I still loved the BMX, and me and my friends would sit there and try to do our little tricks in parking lots until the cops chased us out, the park, wherever. So I would always be like, hey, let me get the cheaper options, you know, like the Huffies and all that stuff. And my buddy even got a Huffy Sigma once, him and his twin brother. And even though it was a Huffy brand, we were all like, ooh, that looks like a fucking UFO. We love it. And I'd love to get my hands on one of them as well, with the discs not cracked, if you know what I'm talking about. So, needless to say, we were pretty rough on our bikes, and I asked for a bike for Christmas this particular year because the one I had at the time, which I don't... They were so insignificant, I couldn't even tell you, except for my very first bike, what it was. So, my very first bike was a Schwinn Stingray. I had the choice of any bike in the store, and I saw the frame in a corner somewhere. I said, I want that. And the guy looked at my dad, and my dad looked at me, and I was just like, yeah, no. I was the guy who picked out the trees like Charlie Brown. You know what I mean? I saw beauty in everything. But I also saw potential in that vintage coolness in this world of BMX. I wanted to stand out. And I had that bike forever, and it was awesome. So I asked for a bike. And needless to say, Christmas morning came. It wasn't a bike. There was not a fucking bike. But on the front porch with a giant bow was this sexy motherfucker, just as you see it here. Now, this is not mine. This is a Google imaged search image thingy-mabobby. But this is exactly how it was. It was chrome with a black deck, the blue wheels, the blue mags, I should say, sorry, the mags. I want to say they were Skyways. I think Skyway made those. But I'm unsure. It could just be some generic mag wheels. Because I honestly don't remember General lasting long. I remember they made bikes. As a matter of fact, I think my dad had a mountain bike made by them. That was really nice. I don't know if they're still in business now, but it had the blue mags and it had the skin walls. You remember the skin walls? Some people call them tan walls, but we call them skin walls. It was beautiful. It was fucking beautiful, but I was so disappointed. I was like, fuck, what are my buddies gonna think? I mean, it was gorgeous, don't get me wrong. It gave me wood, but I was like, what are my buddies gonna think? I'm never gonna be able to catch up with them. I wasn't a fat bastard by then, by the way. I was lean and mean in a rock and roll machine. But Christmas morning came and went, and off we went on our new bikes and stuff, and I met up with my friends at the Incarnation, and they first looked at it and they're like, what the fuck is that? And I said, it's a scooter. It's a kick scooter. And within minutes, I was the coolest fucking kid on the block. I was the raddest motherfucker you could ever meet. And everyone wanted to ride my scooter. People borrowed it and gave me their bikes to use for a little while. This thing was so cool. Never saw one before it. Never saw one afterwards. Not necessarily a General. But I remember Mongoose made one. And a couple other companies made them. The wheels themselves are 12 inches. To give you an idea of scale here. And you're gonna see more about that here in the future. Maybe not so much on this channel, but my blog channel, which I haven't done anything for a long time. It's called the Creepy Crawl. Maybe I'll put a link to it at the end of this in the little thing that pops up to check out these videos and stuff. Maybe I'll change it from our podcast channel to that, just for this one video. I think I'm gonna revive it between this and my actual moped scooter that I'm actually waiting on parts right now for. I think I'm going to start reviving my blog channel just for fun, nothing crazy, no intros and all that crap, just, hey, this is what I'm doing today, check out my scooter and shit. And the reason I said that is because I may not have one of these, but I picked up something the like this weekend on Facebook Marketplace. It was $15. This thing here was commissioned by ESPN for the X Games. I don't know the year on this thing. The best I can find out is they were mid to late 90s, whereas mine was mid to late 80s. But I do have this one, and we'll come back to it. But I did research these. They are very hard to find. They're rare. Really, really rare. And the only two I found were down in Jersey. And one had black tires, and one had the skin walls. I want the skin walls real bad. But they were like $500+. And there are other brands out there that are asking excessive of like $900, $1,000 for them. So apparently there is a market for these, or maybe because of the rarity of them. It's, it's a seller's market or whatever. But you know what? I'm happy in that I found this one here. We're going to be restoring it pretty soon. I got the tubes for it today in the mail. They're sitting right over there. I got just 2 regular bells. Right now, I'm waiting to find the right tires for it. They're 12.5 inch. I say 12 inch, but the actual dimension is 12 inch. By you could do 2.25 to 2.5 inch width. Yeah, I'm just going to clean this one up, and if I can make it look nice as is, I'm going to keep it the way it is, because I don't know much about the X Games ones. I found one for sale that was like $138, and that could just be someone asking for it. I don't know if they're worth anything, if they're not worth anything. That's not my goal. It has an original gyro on it, and that's awesome. I think it still has the original brake pads, but I'm going to clean this one up, and I'm going to go with it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to be the big fat fuck in the skate park, jamming around with this. My kid she got a skateboard. She bought herself a skateboard a couple weeks ago, and she's got her Razor scooter, and of course her bike. She goes to the skate park all the time. I think I'm going to join her this summer with this thing once I get it together. But if there's any of you out there that are really into BMX, if you could find me a source for reasonably priced skin wall 12.5 inch tires, please let me know. I would rather do that. In worst case scenario, maybe I'll just repaint this whole thing, paint it like a flat black, get some red tires for it or something, or white walls. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. But going back to the initial idea for the video, the General, I think it was called the Sidekick, the Pro something Sidekick. This thing was gorgeous. And when I could find one of these, in really honestly any condition, I'll put the thing together if I have to. for a reasonable price. I would actually, I would almost kill to have this thing back. This thing was so fucking rad. It was amazing. So let me know. Let me know down in the comments. Did any of you folks ever have these BMX kick scooters? I know this was the style of scooters in the late 80s and 90s until the Razor thing kind of kicked in. But like I said, I didn't see too many before, and I didn't see any after, except for later on after I got a little old for stuff like this. I say that now. I'm 46 years old, and I got one on the porch I'm about to restore and actually use. But let me know what your thoughts are on this thing. I think it's rad. I think it's fucking awesome. I hate Razor scooters. I think they're stupid as fuck, but I get the allure. I'm showing up on this fucking thing. And although I'm going to be the old man on the pack, I'm going to be the raddest fat bastard you'll ever see on this planet, guys. Go ahead and leave your feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback to the Creep is positive. Seriously, if you have a line on some decent skin walls, 12.5 inch, please let me know. Obviously, they have to be usable. I don't want dry rotted tires, but I don't know. Whatever, guys. I hope you're doing well. Sorry for my absence. Mom's still kind of declining. We're waiting for the inevitable moment. It sucks, but it is what it is, right? You gotta bob and weave, like that. Say, go with the punches, bob and weave, bob and weave. But it is what it is, and we'll be back to regular programming here pretty soon. So I hope you have a great week, guys. And until next time, take care. Creep it real. Creep it real. God, it's been so long. I can't even say my own stuffs. And bye-bye.